Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And once again, a sweltering hot day all across north central Washington. By the way, we broke a record yesterday. We officially topped off at 105. 103 was our record yesterday. Today, we made it 106, and that's what our temperature made it to this afternoon, and that breaks another record, as you can see in Wenatchee, of 105, set back in 1971. Also a good chance that Omak will also break a record today. Ephrata, you will come awfully close, and Spokane as well should tie a record today. And we will see that all across the area, and then as we move through our 5-day forecast, things will get better. In fact, we'll begin to cool down as we get into tomorrow for the weekend. 96 in Wenatchee for Saturday, about 94 on Sunday. We'll get back to about normal on Monday before we warm back up a little bit on Tuesday, and I'll have all your weather details coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A Bridgeport man is accused of attacking his former girlfriend and pursuing her in a car chase that caused her vehicle to flip and roll over on Tuesday. The Coulee Meadows Fire, which started Thursday evening north of Ephrata, grew to about 600 acres overnight and threatened homes in Douglas County. And an unoccupied mobile home was destroyed by fire near Chase Avenue in Manson Thursday afternoon, but firefighters were able to stop the fire from spreading to a nearby shop. But first, we begin tonight. A 38-year-old man was shot multiple times early this morning in the 300 block of 6th Avenue Southeast in Quincy, and what police are calling a gang-related shooting. Police were called at 12:24 a.m. to Quincy Valley Medical Center after the unidentified victim arrived with gunshot wounds. He was later transferred to Central Washington Hospital in Wenatchee, where police say he's in stable condition. The Quincy Police Department said the man told them he was walking to a friend's house when he was shot by a man in his 20s who was wearing glasses, a baseball cap, and a white t-shirt. Meanwhile, a Bridgeport man is accused of attacking his former girlfriend and pursuing her in a car chase that caused her vehicle to flip and roll over on Tuesday. Julian Servine, who's 36 years old, allegedly came to the woman's house, set her curtains on fire with a lighter, choked her, threatened to stab her, and then chased her in his pickup when she tried to flee in her own vehicle about 7:20 p.m. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies said the victim's car rolled over at about 50 miles an hour on Highway 173, but landed on its wheels, and the victim was able to drive home to call police. Servine faces possible charges including first-degree assault, arson, burglary, and harassment. He was booked into the Okanogan County Jail. Well, the Coulee Meadows Fire, which started Thursday night north of Ephrata, grew to more than 600 acres overnight and threatened homes in Douglas County. The fire started about 8 p.m. in dry sage and grass and quickly spread. Thursday night, the fire was approved for state mobilization, bringing in more firefighting resources and an interagency incident management team. Level 1 evacuation notices were issued for some residences in the area, including in the Palisades. Grant County Fire District 13 described the fire behavior Thursday night as extreme, with fire whirls, strong wind, and 50-foot flames at times. Well, an unoccupied mobile home was destroyed by fire near Chase Avenue in Manson Thursday afternoon, but firefighters were able to stop the fire from spreading to a nearby shop and RV. Manson Fire Chief Arnold Baker said the mobile home at Chase and Olive Avenues off Lakeshore Drive was scheduled to be demolished. The cause of the fire, which was reported about 3:30 p.m., is under investigation. Well, coming up next, Governor Jay Inslee said Thursday there are hopeful signs in the state's fight against the COVID-19 virus, but he's continuing his statewide freeze on the phased reopening. Washington schools have outlined their plans for remote learning when classes start on August 26th. Now it's Eastmont's turn. And the City Council of Leavenworth has weighed in on the debate over short-term rentals, saying the industry has damaged housing available in that area. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with Black Rock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local Black Rock seal coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at blackrockasphaltsealcoating.com.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back. In another news, Governor Jay Inslee said Thursday there are hopeful signs in the state's fight against the COVID-19 virus, but he is continuing his statewide freeze on the phased reopening the economy under his Safe Start program. He said there is evidence his face coverings mandate is working and credited businesses with complying with his order. But the governor said COVID-19 continues to be spread in social settings, and that's the major problem as the state goes through its second wave of the pandemic.
As you know, I've announced that we put a pause on the changes to the phases at this time. So at this moment, we're not going to be able to advance counties through different phases, but we're going to continue to track the data literally on a daily basis. I do note that we are seeing some evidence of success. We're seeing data that widespread facial coverings are becoming the norm. But it's just too early to allow significantly more activities to open up right now. The data is clear on that. I indicated that we are seeing data about increasing usage of masks. This is very heartening. As you know, we put into place a requirement that businesses require patrons to wear masks, and that appears to have massive compliance. We want to thank the business community for leading on this. We've seen surveys in Yakima and Chelan and Tri-Cities where maybe 90-95% of people who are going into businesses are wearing masks. This is tremendous. And it's tremendous because we have shown that we can really up our game quite quickly. You know, it was only a few weeks ago, maybe a third at most of people were wearing masks. So now to get into the 90 to 95% level while people are shopping is a tremendous step forward for our state. And it shows how quickly Washington can turn on a dime and do the things that are necessary to protect ourselves and our loved ones. So that's really good news. But there is, as everything, a lot of room for improvement on the social side of our lives. What we're finding is we're being really successful in our business side when we shop. We're in some of those more public settings. But some of the survey results show we might be a lot less than that in our social side when we go to social meetings, backyard barbecues, inside birthday parties, parties of young folks. And that really, you know, we just need to up our game on that.
But when asked why he wasn't discouraging large protest gathering, Inslee said they don't appear to be a problem when it comes to spreading the virus.
Now, fortunately, we've got pretty good evidence that the protests have not caused a spike in these. There were about 5,000 people who got a test, who said they were getting the test because they were in a protest. And the positivity was like 0.1%, extremely low. So the evidence is pretty strong that the protests have not been, thankfully, a reason for the pandemic increasing. And that may be because from my observations, most folks are wearing a mask while they're doing that, and that's a good thing. But I would counsel everyone in all circumstances to maintain social distancing and masking.
Wenatchee schools have outlined their plans for remote learning when classes start on August 26th. Now it's Eastmont's turn. Spencer Taylor, Executive Director of Elementary Education for the Eastmont School District, posted this update for families and students.
We really miss our students, and we just can't wait until we can be back together. However, at this time, we are anticipating starting school with remote instruction as we follow the guidance of our local health department and medical leaders. So this school board meeting on Monday, we will be finalizing our plans, and we'll be communicating that out to our families beginning late Monday night and Tuesday. So you can expect to hear all the plans that we have at Eastmont. And we have some options for you. Option one is a phased-in plan for full on-site instruction as soon as it's safe to do that. Starting remote, moving to some students at school, to all kids at school just like normal. Option two is our Eastmont Virtual Academy. That is underneath our home field program, and that's a long-term option for families seeking a flexible and individualized learning experience for their student, including remote only, or we do have a hybrid learning opportunities as it's safe to come in and meet with the teacher. So be looking for information beginning on Tuesday, August 4th. We'll share the plans via our website, social media, Parent Square, and we'll be sending an individual mailing to each of our families. Thank you so much.
And the City Council of Leavenworth, has weighed in on the debate over short-term rentals, saying the industry has damaged housing availability in the area. Chelan County is working to develop codes to regulate the vacation rental business. The Bavarian Village has its own regulations, but in a letter to county commissioners, the council says in the unincorporated areas surrounding the town, the number of short-term rental homes has increased from just 59 in 2014 to 868 last year. The council says this trend, quote, results in the loss of single-family residential homes, inflated home prices, and increased property taxes for everyone, unquote. Chelan County plans to accept public comment on its draft regulations starting on Wednesday. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Introducing the most capable Sierra lineup ever.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. More and more people during the pandemic are reaching out to each other through video message. That's true internationally as well. In tonight's feature story, the Wenatchee Valley's sister city of Misawa, Japan, sent a virtual message of greeting and encouragement last week while the United States wrestles with the COVID-19 crisis. Take a look.
ウェナッチバレーの皆さん、こんにちは。日本以上に アメリカは厳しい、そういう中にあって、クロフォードさんからはこの三沢市を気遣う素晴らしい動画をいただき、元気づけられました。心から感謝をいたします。またこのコロナが終わった暁にはいつも通り楽しい交流を続けたいと思います。どうか皆様には元気にお過ごしください。
Hello everyone in the Wenatchee. I go to school in health every day. I'm looking forward to the day to be able to see you again after having got over this difficulty. Let's do our best each other. Thank you.
ウィナッチバレーの皆さん、こんにちは。今度再会できるまで動物のキリンのように首を長くして待っていたいと思います。再会までさようなら、頑張りましょ
う。ウィナッチバレーの皆さん、こんにちは。ウィナッチも大変この病気で苦労されているようでありますが、いかがでしょうか。私もなんとか元気にやっております。前の市長のレッスンがプライベートで来るような話をしておりましたので、大変楽しみにしております。お待ちしております。できる限りの歓迎をしたいと思います。
Hello, friends in the Wenatchee Valley. My name is Naoko Miura, and I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for thinking of us during the difficult times that we're all facing, and we are doing our best to stay home. But you know, as they say, it's better safe than sorry, so hopefully we will see you all next time, next year. Happy smiles, hugs, and I hope that everybody takes care and stays healthy. Sending smiles across the miles. Bye-bye.
栗村夏江です。ウィナッチの皆さん、昨年も大変お世話になりました。今年は皆さんとお会いできないんですけれども、その分来年に向けて楽しみがまた増えて、それもまた嬉しいことです。
隣の旦那です。はい。元気にまた2、3日来てください。非常に楽しみにしております。それじゃあ。
はい。
All right, time to take a check now that north central Washington weather forecast. And as always, before we get to the very hot details, let's take a look outside our weather window as we look once again down from the Wenatchee Heights, and that's our cross camera up there looking over the Wenatchee Valley. Also a lot of haze. You can see that on the horizon almost all the way around us today, and that's from all the fires we talked about earlier in the broadcast, and that'll probably keep us a little bit hazy too, but winds will pick up, and that should move some of that wind out of our area. But I'll tell you what, a hot day in the Wenatchee Valley, and for the second day in a row, we did it. 106 degrees unofficial high temperature this afternoon. 105 is our old record. That was set in 1971. So for the second day in a row, we set a record high, 105 yesterday. 77 was our low. Can you believe that's 77 this morning? 63 our normal low temperature, so well over that as well. 51 is our record low in 1964. Sunrise 5:39, and the sun will set tonight at 8:35. Let's take a peek at how that weekend's going to start out for you as we move in to our Saturday forecast, and I think you're going to notice something right away that'll jump out at you. No more triple-digit temperatures as we get into this weekend other than Moses Lake and Ephrata that might get to 100. Most of us should stay in the middle to upper 90s for tomorrow. I know it's still going to be awfully hot out there, but much better than 105 and 106. Beautiful day in Lake Wenatchee tomorrow with a high temperature of 90 degrees. Not much to show you as we get into tonight's forecast as we move through the next 7 days other than those winds that will pick up and probably already have throughout most locations, especially right here in central Washington. Breezy and mild. Once again tonight we're talking lows mainly in the lower 70s around our area. And then as we get into the weekend, we talked about it, a nice day. Sunny, still hot, but slightly cooler, and I'm sure temperature. That's good news for many of you, and clear skies all the way back into the central U.S. and right here, the hottest temperatures in the western United States. Once again, Phoenix, 117 degrees for a high temperature tomorrow. Sunday, sunny. It will be hot once again, but a little bit cooler than Saturday, so things are getting a little bit better, mid-90s. And then as we move into next week and our first day of the week on Monday, mostly sunny. It will be a bit breezy here as well. A bit of a storm system moving across our ridge of high pressure right here, and that'll kick up those winds and temperatures in the upper 80s. Still nice on Tuesday. Sunny skies, a few high clouds around, but not many. Seasonal temperatures, which means about 88 to 89 degrees, so not a bad day for Tuesday. As we get into Wednesday, we'll continue a slow warm up then, a little bit warmer on Wednesday. A big northwesterly flow coming into Washington State, but we're seeing just enough heat from the desert southwest moving up that will warm us up once again as we get into Thursday. Windy as well, especially in the northeast corner of Washington and right here in north central Washington. Temperatures though on Thursday, once again back into the lower 90s. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling 7-day forecast. 70 degrees our overnight low tonight, so a nice start to Saturday. 98 the high temperature later in the day tomorrow. 95 Sunday. You can see the cooling trend as we get into Monday with highs around 90 degrees. A slow warm up then on Tuesday at 91 and all the way up to 93 as we get into Thursday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, your tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Don't worry, all the fun is around the corner. There's no better time to get ready than now with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa Sale. Stock Up and Save sale is now going on in-store and online at bluelagoonpoolandspa.com. Even pool heaters are on sale. Financing available upon approval. Credit 24-month, no interest with equal payments. Stop by today or order online at bluelagoonpoolandspa.com. Free water testing available in store or curbside. Don't wait, the sale is going on now.
You want to help others. You need a solid career. You can have both with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, stop by our campus at 595 Grant Road across from Safeway or visit chartercollege.edu.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Finally Friday to you. COVID-19 shut down high school sports in Washington last spring. The virus's effects have now led to severe changes to the schedule for the upcoming school year. A side effect of shuffling football to the spring has been a movement of players out of state. A local would-be senior is pursuing the ability to play football at the college level. 2 weeks ago, he moved to Montana to be able to have the opportunity to play this fall. Associate Executive Director of the WIAA, BJ Kuntz, oversees eligibility and transfers here at our state. She says she understands the desire for athletes to pursue college aspirations. However, the rules are pretty strict if players and families wish to come back to Washington after moving to another state.
Our transfer rules and our residence rules have pretty clear language that if there is that transfers for the sole purpose of athletics are prohibited. So if somebody does transfer into the state of Washington after leaving the state of Washington for a 4-month hiatus, whatever it might be, and we have a whole series of paperwork that they fill out as part of a new student packet when they return, and a whole series of paperwork that goes to the previous school, and a series of questions that are designed to answer questions around our rules. So in this particular case, if an athletic director feels that a student's transfer is for athletic purposes, then they have a high likelihood of being declared ineligible.
Now, BJ says other factors are also at play in trying to transfer out of state and then back into the state to play football in both the fall and the spring.
There are some risks involved in it, and it's not just the risk of, you know, what happens if you aren't able to prove that the entire family unit moved. What happens if on just the health and safety of a student, if they went and played a 10, 12 game football season full tackle and then they come back and do that again, just the health and safety of a football player playing 20, 25 full tackle football games in the course of one calendar year is quite risky. I will also share with you our SMAC committee, which is Sports Medicine Advisory Council. They are meeting about this as well, and they may make some recommendations to our executive board around number of contests for football for a calendar year. They may or they may not. I don't really know, but they are going to talk about this specifically in reference to football and transfers.
You can watch my entire interview with BJ Kuntz on our website at NCWLIFE.com. Well, Marco Gonzalez evened his record at 1-1 on the season by throwing a 6-inning gem last night in Seattle's 8-5 win over Los Angeles. The former Wenatchee Apple Sox allowed just a 2-run home run over their 6 frames, struck out 6 and walked 1. Seattle finished the opening road trip of the season 3-4, now returns home to host Oakland in the first of a 4-game series at T-Mobile Park. Taijuan Walker gets the start tonight against the A's Sean Manaea. First pitch, 6:40. You can watch it all on Root Sports. Well, the newest Seahawk in town to begin training camp is safety Jamal Adams. He was traded just a week ago from the Jets to Seattle for 2 first-round draft picks and Bradley McDougald. In his first virtual press conference, Adams admitted to being incredibly worried about where he'd end up.
The day before I got traded, I was really stressed. I went out with my family and some of my loved ones and my brothers, and they could see it on my face how stressed I was because I didn't know where I was going to go come Tuesday. And I prayed on it. I prayed on it hard, and I asked God, to place me where I needed to be, whether that was to go back to New York or whether that's to be traded. And this is my calling, man. I'm here to stay, and I'm excited to be a Seattle Seahawk, like I said, and I'm really overwhelmed, but at the same time, man, it's so surreal to be around a great organization like Seattle, and to be coached by legendary coaches, Hall of Fame coaches, playing with Hall of Famers, from Russ to Bobby, KJ, Bruce Irvin, Quandre, the list goes on and on, man. I'm just excited to be here. I'm here to help, and I can't wait to get out there in front of the 12s, man.
Adams was an All-Pro with the Jets for 3 years after being drafted out of LSU. He and the Seahawks are settling into training camp under the cloud of COVID-19. For now, meetings are being held virtually until all the coronavirus test results are in. Here's a reminder what's coming up this weekend on the NCWLIFE channel. Begins with baseball tonight. Apple Sox hosting the Bellingham Bells. We have high school girls soccer tomorrow between Cashmere and Cascade at 2. That's followed by racing from Wenatchee Valley Super Oval from back on July 11th. That gets underway at 6 o'clock. Then on Sunday, watch wrestling from January of 2017 between East One and West Valley at 2 o'clock, followed by Big 9 baseball between Wenatchee and Moses Lake at 7. That's a look at sports news. Have a safe and sane weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And as we leave you tonight, construction workers braved record-breaking heat this week to begin construction of a Wendy's fast food restaurant in the Hobby Lobby parking lot in East Wenatchee. The Wendy's will be the second in the Wenatchee Valley, with the other in Wenatchee on North Wenatchee Avenue. Construction is expected to be completed before this fall. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
August. And we'll recap the weekend that was, and we'll get you going with everything you need to know to start your next week on Monday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, including all of the latest news, the latest sports, and everything you need to start your day the right way, which is live and local with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll see you Monday morning at 7 a.m. Grant, back to you.
Have a great weekend, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend.
This is Caitlin Hedersheet, the producer of the NCWLIFE magazine. Each week, I'm bringing you a look behind the scenes of the faces, places, and events that make North Central Washington the place we call home. Tune in every weekday for an in-depth look at a new topic each week. From local artists in their studios to businesses breaking barriers that might surprise you and everything in between. Join me on the NCWLIFE magazine right here on the NCWLIFE channel.